This is how you create a clean worksheet with pictures, diagrams, or math questions into one place. No formatting work on your side. If you want to create worksheets with AI, this tutorial walks you through how to turn any topic or a file, image, or a YouTube video or a website or anything into a clean student-ready worksheet that you can print and export for your class. I'll show how to add visuals, include math questions, adjust difficulty, and export the final worksheet for your class. I'm using Monsha for this. It's a simple AI tool teachers use for lesson planning and creating all the resources like worksheets, quizzes, presentations, exam questions, and more. To create the worksheets, you need to sign up on monsha.ai and find the worksheet tools here. And this is where you can submit your requirements or context to create the worksheet. For example, you could just type in your topic or upload any video, file, website, text, or use any other previously created Monsha resource to use as a reference for your worksheet. For example, here is a YouTube video on photosynthesis. Here is a PDF on the same topic, and there is a website or National Geographic article on the same topic. And I will use this to create worksheet for you. So you can just click on video, paste the URL here. You could also use some of the videos you have already used before, and then you can proceed to the file section and upload your file. So I am uploading a PDF, but you could also upload any image file or presentation or doc or any other file format you have. Take a picture of your notebook, handwritten guides, and then upload it, and the tool will read the text for you. Then I am submitting the URL of the website and then hit save. So you see you are using a video, file, and website all together to create the resources. Now the video is for grade 5, but the file is for a higher grade level, but that doesn't matter. As long as you select the grade level for your desired worksheet, it will adapt the worksheet for your desired grade level. And then you have the language set as English. I want, let's say, 10 activities, and then I can select the activity types, like I want fill in the blanks, compare and contrast, critical thinking questions, problem solving, and writing prompts, or maybe a sequencing event. And that's basically it. So this is all you need to create your worksheet, but there are some other powerful options here so that you can put in more requirements and make it more relevant for you. For example, you could configure the resource and you could assign the question count for each activity type. For example, I want 1 fill in the blanks, or maybe 3, and then 1 compare and contrast, 2 critical thinking questions, problem solving, writing prompts, and yeah, that's it, or 1 sequencing event. I could also select the difficulty levels for the worksheet and then hit save. You could also submit your written text or written prompt or preferences, anything you want. You can just type in, or you can use this history button here to use some of the prompts that you have already used before. For example, here you can focus on definition, raw materials, and end products. And finally, here you have more options. For example, you could attach this worksheet to any course or units or lessons, because Monsha also allows you to plan your long range or plan your whole unit or course. So if you want your worksheet to be part of that curriculum, you can just assign it here, and then you can assign standards. For example, Monsha already has a directory of international standards like IB, Cambridge, Lexile, Common Core, or NGSS, or many standards from around the world. You could also add your own standards if you don't see it in the directory, and then hit save. And then finally, you could adapt this worksheet to any doc level or Lexile reading level or Bloom's taxonomy level for this worksheet. Let's say we want to apply and create. So these are the taxonomy we're going for. Finally, you can hit generate, and it will take some time to create the worksheet for you. Now this is the output. You see the matching questions, fill in the gaps, compare and contrast, sequencing events. Now maybe you feel like there should be more, like you should have more spacing, or you could use some visuals or images. So you see this option here where you can chat with this resource and ask your requirements and prompts. For example, I have done this for you already. So I have asked add images where helpful and use proper line breaks and spacings, and it has generated a new version of the worksheet with images and spacing and all that. Now you could demand more from this output and keep chatting with it, like saying make this slightly harder and add 2 application based questions where students relate photosynthesis to real life. Or if you don't feel like writing, you could just use these quick actions to, let's say you want to simplify the difficulty or add visuals or make it more engaging. And if you click it, it will create the draft prompt for you that you can modify and then hit enter to generate more resources. Now, if we go up here, you can see some more options, like you could edit the whole response with this editor. You could also export this worksheet to any preferred format. For example, you could download as a doc or PDF. For example, this is a PDF version of the worksheet. You could also export to Google Docs or Google Forms or Google Classroom. You could also share it to your preferred learning management system like Canvas or Schoology, or quiz taking platforms like Kahoot or Quizzes or Quizlet. For example, here I exported the worksheet to Google Forms. It has separate questions and everything. And if you click on it, you see the right answer is already assigned and answer keys are already assigned for every question. So this is helpful. Then if you go back, you could also copy the whole output. You could create more resources based on it, like maybe a quiz question or maybe a handout or a passage. You could also differentiate it, translate it, adjust the grade level, doc level, or reading level. For example, if you click here and select another Bloom's taxonomy level and click adapt, it would create a new version right below the output. And you could do these operations like edit, export, and differentiate on each output. For example, I just did that in the second output, but you could also do the same for the first output or initial generation as well. And on top, you could see the share button. So if you click it, it will copy the link in your clipboard that you can share with your students or your teachers so that they can see the output without having to log in. You could also see the prompt, the initial setup that you used to create the worksheet in the first place. You could do some changes here and regenerate the worksheet. You could also create more resources from the worksheet. As I said, you could create lesson plan, essay tip, and other types of worksheet or handout, or even created a rubric or vocab words or anything else that you want to create based on this worksheet. You can also create the math related worksheets using the same formula. You can just type in your prompt. Let's say I want to create a math worksheet on equations, like solve and verifying kind of worksheet. And then I don't have to put in my source materials every time. I can just type my prompts, and then I want maybe 10 activities. I want hard, very difficult worksheets. I'm a bad teacher. And then this is for grade 5 and language English. And when you hit generate, it will take some time again. So this is how it works. Let's say you have these equations and you have this activity and then student work and then verification. So all the spacing there. You can also see the answer keys again. Activity 1, this is the answer. This is how it verifies. And the best part is, so these are not just text. These are rich LaTeX format of math. So this is the standard math format. To understand this, if you click the edit button and select the equation, you can see the edit icon, and if you click it, you will see the math calculator that you can use to write your equations and formatting or a different math formula. And Monsha is very capable of creating accurate charts and visuals as well. So if you just mention charts or plots, it will create plot that you can interact with and that is mathematically accurate and that you can readily export to your preferred format. Now, another cool thing about Monsha is, like, apart from creating those learning materials, you can also create your entire course or course outline. Just typing your title, subject, number of units and lessons you want, and then hit generate, and it will create the whole course outline for you with all the units and lessons. You can then plan individual units or lessons and then drop all your resources or context in the course or units that you can reuse later for creating new types of learning materials. You can also align standards for the whole course or units, and also you can approach your daily lessons and plan every part of it, like opening activities, hooks, instructions, guided practice, materials, and then create all the resources to execute each part of your lesson plan. So Monsha this way helps you plan your next class and also plan your entire week or semester.